Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to excerpt number 64, last chapter, chapter number 58 of the book Kamaluddin wa Tamaamun Ni'ma, which is right in front of me. And I recommend that all of us must at least try to read it. This has been authored by Shaykh As-Sadooq alayhi rahmah. And we would discuss the attributes of the longevity of Imam. We have discussed his reappearance. Let us also ponder over this fact that do any of us know that it is through the Imam of the time, Imam Zamana alayhi salam, that our worship gets perfected. Let us see what the author has to say in this chapter. The author primarily attempts to reply to the doubters, the opponents, and let us list a few doubts and the replies, the concise replies given by the author. One of the doubts is that due to the concept of fatara means a time when no messenger, prophet or successor is apparent and well known as it was before that time. So also it is possible to have no Imam in today's era, and the birth of Imam Mahdi alayhi salam is yet to take place. This is a doubt, this is a question raised. So the author responds by using the following arguments. He says that we have clear and accepted traditions from the Shia as well as other sects that the world cannot be devoid of the proof of Allah till the day of judgment. The continuation of Imamat is like the continuation of day and night. And in response to a question put forth to Imam Jafar As-Sadiq alayhi salam as to who would be the Imam after him, since he, the Imam alayhi salam, had reached old age, the Imam alayhi salam replied as follows. He says that by Allah, if Imamat stops, the days and nights will come to an end. Prophethood and messengership is the divine practice or the sunnah, while Imamat is an obligation on the Almighty Allah. This is due to the fact that there should be an Imam and successor who is the proof on the people so that he may call people to the teachings of that messenger that has come from the Almighty Allah. In addition to this, the author continues and says that having a period of fatara does not mean that there will be no proof of the Almighty on earth. Even during this period, there will be a proof of the Almighty who calls people to the teachings of the messenger. The Shia belief, let's talk about the Shia belief here. The Shia belief in fatara clearly states that in fatara the proof is present but is not known or is not apparent. Another doubt which has been brought forward in this chapter, number 58, is that if Allah has mentioned everything in the Holy Quran, then why do we require a guide? The author again responds by saying that we have seen in the past nations, the communities that have gone by, that after the prophet of their time has passed away, they used to fall in discord regarding the holy book. There were always doubts and disputes. The followers of the Torah, in spite of having the Torah, the followers of Zabur, instead of having the Zabur, and the followers of Injil, in spite of having the Injil, could not become needless of a guide. Although regarding these books, Almighty Allah has said that there is guidance and light in them, through which the Prophet used to command. Thus, these nations were in need of a guide in order to obtain those commands. Then subsequently, the author brings miscellaneous traditions about Imam Mahdi alayhi salam. Now, before we conclude this last chapter, which also concludes the summary of the book, we would like to end with a lengthy tradition. It's a pretty long tradition from Imam Raza alayhi salam regarding Imamat. Imam Raza alayhi salam says, and I quote him, "Truly the Imamat is the reins of religion, the state of order of the Muslims, the rectitude of the world and the might of the believers. Verily, the Imamat is Islam's growing root and its lofty branch. Through the Imam, the prayer, that's namaz, zakat, fasting, hajj and jihad, which means exerting oneself or striving in the way of Allah. That is jihad. Whether by means of one's property, one's life, one's knowledge, or by any other means, are perfected. Public funds are increased, restrictions and the commands are put into practice, and the frontier posts and the borders are protected. We have completed the summary of this book, Kamaluddin wa Tamaamun Nema. Inshallah, soon we will introduce a new book about Imam Mahdi alayhi salam, and on conclusion, we pray to Allah the Almighty to hasten the reappearance of our beloved Imam and accept our meager efforts in the way of his promised Mahdi alayhi salam. Thank you very much for being a part of this. Khuda Hafiz.